Welcome once again to another exciting episode of The Sage. Thank you for being our companions on this exciting journey. Your presence means a great deal to us. Without you, and all your valuable feedbacks, the program would mean nothing. So thank you. And we promise you a really, really exciting time ahead. Today we continue another episode of the series we've been running on nation building. We belong to a great nation, a nation that should mean a lot to each and every one of us. It does indeed signify our survival, our ability to survive. And we have all come together to agree about one thing, if nothing else, that we share a common destiny. We are determined that as a country, we will make progress, we will succeed, and we will learn to provide for the majority of our people. That we will truly share our common bounty. In line with this, we had begun for the past few weeks discussing many important elements of this important nation building. We had gone on to talk about religion for nation building. We discussed education. We discussed the creative arts. We discussed the concepts of business, what's good businesses, particularly small and medium scale enterprises, could mean for the good of our nation. We also began a discussion on the family, the strategic importance of family in nation building. We hope some of you have watched it, in which we had a very eloquent young lady discuss her notion of family for nation building. You may say family. I don't think anybody would even question why family is a topic on this agenda. It is obvious, and yet it still bears discussion, because until you discuss and again together reach a common understanding, you may not all come together to work towards the same goal of a strong family for a strong nation. So why is family important? I will state the obvious, I'm sure, when I list some of them. It is a fundamental unit of a nation for many, many reasons. The family is perhaps the earliest form of socialization that any person, any human being has. We're all born by a man and a woman, despite all the medicine, the advances. And so it's the earliest form of socialization. Family also has a great potential of providing economic stability. That is the first place where our needs are provided for within the context of a family and using the family's resources. Families oftentimes our first base of emotional support. It is our parents and caregivers who teach us what it is to have emotional maturity and what it's all about. Family is the focus or the beginning of education. It is where we're educated about rights and wrongs and what to do and what not to do and so on and so forth. There's so many, but let me say that it is also cultural preservation. Our traditions, the way we are as a particular type of people behave, is often handed down in families. Families are also they form the community. So what a community of family does is the community, and in the final analysis, the nation. For us in Africa, one perhaps other attribute to mention is the fact that families provide social stability for young and the old. And so the bottom line really is that the family is vital for nation building in so many ways, whether it's socially or whether it's because of its economic benefits or because of the cultural traditions that are handed down or the emotional well-beings that are taught, and so on and so forth. The family is where it begins. The family is where it needs to be nurtured, and not just for when you are young, but perhaps your whole lifetime. Yes, these are some of the common attributes. But today we're bringing you, with excitement, a different type of discussion on the family. We are privileged on The Sage to have put together some amazing, intelligent young people who are going to discuss for them as young people, is family important? What is the role of the family? And what has been their own experience of family? On set with us are three amazing young people, as I have said. I will talk about another attribute of these three young people when we come back. Stay with us. We'll be back. Welcome once again to The Sage, and thank you for staying with us. Before the break, I promised you a lovely surprise. Three wonderful young people on set with us today to discuss the issue of family in nation building. But the beautiful surprise is that by sheer coincidence, not planned, the three lovely, amazing young people on set are three beautiful young ladies. I'm usually excited by that. Call me a feminist if you want, or gender biased. But when you add beauty to brains, you can't beat the mixture. And so please join me in welcoming on set three, as I said, three lovely ladies. Where shall I begin to introduce? I think let me start at this end. Right on my extreme left is Patgina Brian Atta, who is the CEO of the House of Care. When you look at her and see how beautifully groomed she is, you will know that House of Care is a makeup house, right? Where you turn people into beautiful human beings.
Exactly.
And you have come on set to demonstrate those skills to all of us. Patgina, welcome.
My pleasure.
I am very proud to say that Patgina is indeed a C4C fellow. We're very proud of them. They're accomplished and the best testament of their enterprises. Next to Patgina is Justina Abo, another beautiful, beautiful young lady who is a fashion designer. It is evident when you look at her. She is the CEO of Charisma Clothings. I will reveal a secret she doesn't expect me to, but as she was coming on set, being mindful of the CEO of a fashion house, she had dressed very glamorously, and her jealous husband had said, no, tone down a little. Again, we're very, very proud to say that she is a fellow of C4C, and we're very proud of you and your enterprise and your beautiful grooming.
Thank you so much, Mommy.
Last but not the least, on my right is Rachel Bob, the CEO of Healing Hands Spa. Rachel is, I always love introducing Rachel. She's no guest to this show. She's been with us several times in the past. She's a lawyer by profession, but she's also a C4C fellow and is an expert. Her business is in the spa business. And we're very proud for the diversification and to have been able to support her in setting up her spa business. Rachel, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Good to be here.
And so trust me, you're going to have a good time. As these intelligent and beautiful young ladies discuss the issue of family and the place family should have in our society in helping us to forge the country we want to have. We will start the discussion by asking them to talk about, for them, is family as an institution or family as a unit an important one? I will ask them each to discuss it from the perspective of, theoretically, what do they think? Is family important for us in Nigeria as a country and given our situation? But also for them, because they're still quite young. What was it in your life? What do you think were the things that the family you came from helped you, supported you, or even didn't support you enough? I mean, if that is the case. So for each of you, I will ask you to discuss that. Let's start the discussion that way. Is family important? Is it important? Do you think it is? If it is, why? And for your life, what has it been like? You know, who would like to start? You want to start? Okay.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Okay, so I'll say family is very important. It's basically important. If we have values and if we have a lot of things that can help nation development, I think I'll classify or I'll categorically say family should be primary because of its importance, because of what it holds, and because of what it's out there to put to the society. And I'll say family is the foundation on which a nation is being built. A lot of things we do, a lot of lifestyle we live is evident from the kind of family we came out from, if you agree with me. I am an advocate for family and moral values. I don't joke with them. I am very particular about, okay, these are morals and these are values, rights are rights and wrongs are wrongs. I don't say this is black and I don't say it is white. And then for that reason, my own family, let me just make an example. Like I said, I lost my mom a while ago, and until today, as an adult married with a child, if I want to do something, I'll start feeling like my mom is around and seeing me. I'll start feeling like, this woman wants to caution me. I'll start feeling like, that is to tell you how much she has instilled on me to say these things are not right and these things are wrong. So wherever I find myself today and I see someone doing that, I should be able to say these things are wrong and you shouldn't do this. All thanks to family. The respect I've learned today, the show of love I've learned today, the expression of care I have learned and I am expressing today is as a result of the family where I came out from. Where I am today, standing in my business, the foundation of my business was as a result of my family, people that supported me, people that came through for me. So there is no way we would say family is not important or family is just an oversight in nation development. Me, I would say it is very important. It is a yes and it is a plus. So as much as it is, we should hold family and moral values so dear. As much as it is, we should hold it so dear to the point that we know that these things that are not supposed to be shouldn't be. We should hold it so dear to the point that we know that these wrongs are wrongs. Can you just keep them aside when someone is doing something wrong? The respect we learn, the school, all the schools we've attended, our first basic time of learning, when a child is crawling, when a child is doing this, down to nursery, to primary, and to tertiary institutions. All those periods are phases of learning. However you go out to learn in school, you still come back home and then you will learn the morals, you will learn your culture, and you will learn a lot of things from the home. So I am so particular about family and moral values. I look out for it a lot. I am a disciplinarian for one. I don't pet to say, okay, these things are wrong, okay, but you can do it for today. It doesn't help the society. It's the reason why a lot of perjury and a lot of negative things we have in society today are there.
You know, that's very important. And if every single Nigerian really thought the same and held on to that, I doubt that we will have the rampant corruption that we all see as evident. So there's something going wrong somewhere, and we will explore that later. But let me move to Pachina and say, what about you? What do you think about family in our society?
Once again, thank you, Mommy, for this opportunity. What I would say family is like I earlier said, family is the smallest unit of any society. But despite how small, that is the beginning of any, and would always be actually the beginning of any great impact anyone wants to make, wherever you find yourself as a human being, as an individual. And I'd like to liken family to farming. You know, when as a farmer, you actually have to prepare the ground, right, before you plant a seed. Now that seed you plant, that's the values that you incorporate into your children, what goes and what doesn't, everything together, you put it in a child. And like the Bible rightly said, you train up a child in the way he should go, that when he grows. Now, you might not be saying it so much in training, but when he grows, like she rightly said, when he grows, he will not depart from that path that you've trained. So planting, and then you've planted it, you've put it into the ground, you have to nurture it. Now you see the point where they have to, you know, they fail, they falter in one or two.
Let me be provocative and say, it makes profound sense. He will not depart from that path. Why are so many of our people departing?
But I think, there's one thing to be trained and there's another thing to succumb or submit to training. Yeah, I can teach you how to be, but are you willing to be what I'm teaching you?
Yeah.
It's not, oh, don't steal, don't. Everybody knows not to steal. Everybody knows not to, well, hopefully everybody knows not to steal. Because our society is wild. So, and we'll look at, okay, influences, peer groups and all of that. But truly, you have been trained. So, but are you ready to receive that training? As a child, am I ready to listen to the voice of my mom, even when she's not there? My teacher was always fun, Mrs. Patience. She was always fun to say something. You are who you are when nobody's watching you. So when your family is not present physically, who are you really? Have you really submitted to what they've said? Have you really listened fully? Have you let that training sink into your subconscious? So it's now beyond what your family is saying. Everybody's saying family is good, but as an individual, are you following the path that they set?
She's now answered the question for you. I took you up on that, and she's now saying that many, so to say, may not be following the path.
Very true.
Because they have chosen not to follow.
Because they have chosen not to follow. Very true. And just like the saying, you can actually drag a horse to the stream, but you can't force it to drink water. And we actually find out that in our society, or in the world we find ourselves in today, many people have, you know, gotten a more like their own understanding of family. And family has gone beyond just my mom, my dad, my siblings. You see family in your community, you see family in your workplace, you see family at different points in your life and at different places you find yourself in. And so some people choose to pick, okay, what I'll learn, I'll choose what I want from this family and not this family. So your parents can actually do, you know, so much in, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And then you go outside and you choose to learn from your family or friends, you know, and then you pick it up and like, this is good to go. So we go with
family
it.
of friends, family of social media.
Exactly. A lot of families that we find ourselves and we have right now. So it boils down to what you actually want to take up as a child and what you want to grow up with. But it still doesn't eradicate the fact that family remains and will always be the very beginning of whatever it is we grow with. And if I want to liken it, because there are many...
I think the point you're making, agreeing with you, is that it is the beginning, but there are other socializing influences also as you progress in life, that also has an effect. But it doesn't negate the importance of that initial beginning.
Because of the support it gives, the training, and many more. I would actually liken it to recently, my mom called me. And it's been a while since I went home. And she called and she was like, are you not missing your mother?
I understand that feeling.
I'm like, mommy, I'm missing you, but it's just the tussle. Like everything is just coming and we're just trying to find our fitting. And I'm like, I had to make that commitment. Okay, I'm coming home November. I'll definitely come home November and I'll spend some time. And she's like, okay. I'm like, so you see that support. Despite the fact that she's, elderly, she needs her child, to just lean on and listen to her.
It's a two-way thing, isn't it? Yeah.
So we, the young ones, we need our parents to support us. Like, I am so blessed to have my own family and also to have the family of C4C, really. They are very supportive, but aside from that, they also need us. Like, today I'm here because an amazing family needs me to be here. C4C needs me to be here. So that's a two-way thing.
It is two-way. Yeah, we cater families. Yeah, we're mutually reinforcing and supporting. Yeah, okay.
And in the long run, it actually helps us. It's these things we carry on wherever we find ourselves as we grow. We just tend to apply it in different aspects. And as a nation, imagine me applying something positive, and each and every one of us applying that. Automatically, we have
a better society.
Which is the importance. We will come to that later in the program, because in the end, that's the point I think we're making. That if enough of us projected that positive part, it spreads. Our nation benefits and is better. But let me turn to Rachel. Rachel, do you have additional points on the importance of family and what you think family brings to and I also want you people to talk related to your life, in terms of what do you think about your families that you treasure most, really. I'm sure there must be some in everybody's life. Yeah. Let's share.
Family is a mirror. Yeah. So, when you look at a mirror, you see stuff you don't like or stuff you like. So family, it's that
like
mirror.
The gray hair I don't like when I see it.
So family is that mirror the nation should look into and like, are we doing it right? What is going on? What's wrong? What are we doing right? That's working. What are we doing wrong? I think that family is that picture you have to keep looking and like, okay, we're doing something good here, or we're not doing something. This is how we rectify it. I think all organs of government should pay attention to families. They should go back to the roots. It's not just leaving things to the local government chairman, the legislative arm of government, or the executive arm of government. You as an individual, what's your family like? Are you spending time with your family? I think the world has come to this point of it's a global village that we are forgetting the primarily physical, local village that we have. You see parents leaving their children with their phones, no control, no checks. How can you leave an 8-year-old? Okay, yes, he said, okay, my child needs to have a phone so I can communicate when but there's no checks on the Google, on YouTube, on Facebook. You are opening an account for a child. Why? You see children putting on makeup. Why? Why are we giving children makeup to wear? They are children, and allow them. Like, how we used to have moonlight stories. And we no longer have that. We used to have elders sit us around and they just... My grandmom used to do that. My granddad, I still say to my siblings, like, no matter how you guys do, I'm still number one. In my grandfather's heart, I'm number one. Like I am number one.
I agree with you. I have 9 grandchildren and each one is number one here.
I tell them I'm the favorite. Whenever he calls, he asks of me first. So, and it's not something that I'm being boastful or anything, but it's just I have a relationship with my grandfather because I listen to his stories. We don't have that anymore. I want us. This conversation is not just for us to. Yes, they spoke about family. So nice. What are you doing in your family? It's not just to say it's so nice to hear about this and that. What are you doing? What are you doing
what are you doing about your family? How are you connecting with your children? It's not just to call them on phone and fine. And no, sit them down, talk to them, face-to-face conversations.
I'm going to hold you there.
Yeah.
With that critical question that says, what are you doing with your family? And say to our viewers, we shall come back. This topic is so important that it's not one that can be dealt with in one sitting. To our wonderful guests, we will ask them to be with us next week as we continue this discussion. They've told us, they've agreed by and large that family is important. It's the first point. I mean, when we come into the world, it's the first nucleus, the smallest nucleus where we begin to be socialized and to be tutored and mentored. But what are we doing to sustain that nucleus, to make it thrive? And I'm going to take them on as well and insist that at the very least they share with you and I, what is it? They're young. It's not so long ago that they were part of that little family. What were the things for each of them was strongest in their memory about the positivity of the family they came from? So stay with us next week as we delve further into this issue, because it is so fundamentally important for everybody, for each one of us, for our country, and for the life we continue to live on this earth. So stay with us. We'll see you next week.